Hello and welcome to BNEWS Weekly. My name is Alan Foles and I'm sitting in for Phil Gallagher. I'm joined by Robert Paris, Rich Hosford, Maddie Shipka, and on weather, Peter Brown. Burlington is currently under a watering ban, but that will be reevaluated shortly. As reported by BNews, the watering ban was put in effect on June 5th after workers doing repair on a faulty filter at the Vinebrook treatment plant found additional issues with some of the hatches and other equipment that need to be addressed immediately to keep the plant operational in the years ahead. That work required a cut in the capacity of the Vinebrook plant, which is already underperforming due to contamination found in 2013 that shuttered 3 wells. The reduced capacity, coupled with an increase in water usage throughout the town, prompted the need for a watering ban and an emergency connection to Lexington. On Wednesday, the Department of Public Works said that the watering ban has been a success thus far and that water use is well below normal summertime highs. The DPW said that the town's water use during the last month has been as low as 2.6 million gallons per day compared to a high of 4.7 million gallons per day the town was using before the ban. The DPW also said on Wednesday that work at the Vinebrook plant has proceeded and it should be back to its normal post-contamination capacity. The filter will be needed to be treated prior to be put back into operation. The plan is to be able to run this filter by midweek next week. When that work is done, the DPW will reassess the need for the watering ban, which will also take into consideration drought conditions and rainfall levels. At this point, we will evaluate the weather conditions to determine what kind of water restrictions will need to remain in place, the DPW said. There's also a need to clear sediment buildup in the sanitation basin at the Mill Pond Reservoir. DPW Director John Sanchez said in an interview in June. He explained that to keep that running at full capacity, that must be addressed and will likely factor into the timing of any change in the watering ban situation. So for now, the watering ban remains in effect. As a reminder, the outdoor watering restrictions consist of irrigation of lawns via sprinklers or automatic irrigation systems, washing of exterior building surfaces, parking lots, driveways, or sidewalks, except as necessary to apply surface treatments such as paint, preservatives, stucco, pavement, or cement. The penalty for violating the ban include a warning for the first violation. A second violation carries a fine of $50, and each subsequent violation carries a fine of $100. These fines are non-criminal dispositions. A town meeting warrant article scheduled to be before town meetings, the Burlington's legislative body, in September will need to meet a higher threshold of support than normal. Town Clerk Amy Warfield said that a vote to cover a fiscal shortfall of roughly $1.7 million accrued by the school department in fiscal year 2018 will need to pass by at least a 4/5 vote by town meeting. Normally, important decisions such as zoning bylaw changes require a 2/3 vote. The 4/5 margin is required by Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 64. That section states, any town or city having unpaid bills of previous fiscal years which may be legally unenforceable due to the insufficiency of an appropriation in the fiscal year at which such bills were incurred may, in the case of a town, at the annual meeting by a 4/5 vote or at a special meeting by a 9/10 vote of the voters present and voting at the meeting duly called. As reported on BNews, Superintendent Eric Conti informed the school committee last week that there were more expenses in fiscal year 18 than had been previously budgeted for in the amount of roughly $1.7 million. Conti said these expenses include $200,000 in employee stipends, $220,000 for substitute teachers, $400,000 for maintenance, and $600,000 in special education, transportation, as well as some extra expenses for elementary school tutors. The school committee voted 5-0-0 to place an article in the September town meeting warrant to appropriate the funds to meet all FY18 obligations. It was a case of harassing the harassers this week. Lieutenant Glenn Mills of the Burlington Police Department took a Twitter on Monday to detail his efforts to waste time and use up the resources of scammers trying to impersonate the IRS. BNews Director Rich Hosford spoke to him about it and has this report.
It's an old scam, but it has picked up in Burlington and surrounding communities this week, though this time the scammers might have tried to pick on the wrong victim. It's called the IRS Scam, and it involves a caller telling whoever picks up the phone that they owe taxes and they have to pay, often with a gift card or a green dot card, or face fines or even arrest.
I think they try to catch people off guard, maybe when you're not really thinking about this too much, and just that sudden fear and shock of, oh no, I'm going to be arrested, makes people do things that they might not otherwise do. So they're very quick to try to resolve it as soon as they can. Oh, if I just pay money, I'll be okay. And unfortunately, people are still going for this. The fear is enough that they feel the need to run out and send these people money as fast as they can.
Along with the fear factor, the scammers also use technological spoofs to try and trick potential victims.
They've gotten pretty savvy. Sometimes they'll even use our individual police officers' names. They can spoof their caller ID so that the caller ID actually appears to be coming from the IRS or the Burlington Police Department or whoever.
3 minutes.
Trying to make it look more real.
There are some clear telltale signs that this is a scam, including the basic premise that a threat by phone is a common practice in law enforcement.
Well, first off, nobody's going to call you on the phone and tell you that they're going to arrest you over the phone. The IRS is never going to call you at home and tell you that they're going to arrest you. The IRS isn't going to have the local police come down and arrest you.
On Monday, the scammers tried to fool the wrong victim when they called the Burlington Police Department itself with threats of tax violation. Lieutenant Mills said he realized years ago that every call these scammers make is a use of their resources, and he decided to try and keep them on the phone to both waste their time and to find out what he could about them. He also took to social media to share the phone number the scammers are using to both alert the public and hopefully make that number useless to the scammers.
So I've been tweeting out the phone number that they've been using, asking people to call back. And I'll call them myself. I'll just hit the redial button like so. And, fortunately, I think they now see the town of Burlington calling them, and they're not answering anymore. Because I've called them several times today, and I'll ask them questions about tax forms and other nonsense. And they'll talk to me for quite a while, so I know I'm tying up their resources while I'm working on other things.
During the back and forth between Burlington Police and the scammers, things got kind of weird. First, Lieutenant Mills said he pretended to be John Johnson, calling on behalf of his wife, Betsy Johnson, the name of a well-known clothing designer. Eventually, the scammers came to believe his name was just Burlington, and eventually started threatening Mr. Burlington with criminal charges and arrest, and eventually declared that he owed the IRS over $4,500 in fines. During all of this, Lieutenant Mills said he continued to play along and tweet the latest updates.
Eventually, they figure it out that I'm goofing on them, and they'll hang up on me. But you know, that was pretty successful for a while, and then I found that by tweeting it out, people start talking about it more. And what we're really trying to do is get the public to talk about this, and actually, I'm hoping somebody will go home and they'll say to their family members that might be susceptible to these scams, oh, I heard a funny thing today, the Burlington police had the IRS call, and it was a scam, and they made fun of them. And maybe they'll tell their grandmother or grandfather about that, and hopefully that message will stick. And the people hearing about that will know better in the future that, oh, the IRS does not call, and it is a scam. I think it's helping get the word out, and that's really my ultimate goal, is to educate the public.
And finally, before I left, Lieutenant Mills tried one last time to reach the scammers with the number they provided.
Hi, I'm calling from Burlington.
Yeah, I know you. You are calling us again and again. Don't call us.
You don't want me to call you?
At the Burlington Police Department, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
A Boston co-working space business is looking to set up its flagship location in Burlington. WorkBar has announced plans to open a 20,500 square foot workspace located immediately on Summit Drive in Burlington that is slated to be ready in early December 2018. The new workspace will be WorkBar's 9th location in Massachusetts. WorkBar CEO Sarah Travers said in a statement that they are excited to introduce co-working to Burlington and to bring a fun and productive place for companies of all sizes to grow. She added that the Burlington location is going to be a flagship for WorkBar. According to the business, the new location in Burlington will offer over 10,000 square feet of co-working space and has been designed with WorkBar's trademark neighborhood layout. In addition to WorkBar's Burlington's first floor co-working space, the new location will also offer an entire floor dedicated to enterprise office suites for large teams. The business says that this marks the first time WorkBar has included large format office suites in their locations, and it introduces a new direction for the company, though offering enterprise-level space and services to complement its industry-leading co-working nerve center concept. WorkBar members in the new Burlington location will also get access to a number of amenities, including a brand new fitness center, in-space managed cafe, walkable shops, and dining and dedicated parking spaces. This week, the Middlesex 3 Coalition held their second annual M3 Summit featuring 2 panels of distinguished guests moderated by Massachusetts Secretary of Housing and Economic Development, Jay Ash. BNEWS reporter Robert Paris was there and files this report.
There will soon be changes happening within Burlington and the surrounding communities. This week, the Middlesex 3 Coalition held their second annual MC Summit at the Farley White Interest Building in Billerica.
So this is the second year we've hosted a real estate forum with the New England Real Estate Journal. Last year we hosted it in Burlington, and we looked at really what are the challenges to economic development in the area, and talked a lot about transportation and amenities and things that we need to bring to the communities in order to encourage economic development. And so this year, working with New England Real Estate Journal, it was a success last year, so we decided we'd do it again. And we looked at what are the next steps, what does the future hold in the next 5 to 10 years. We talked a lot about working with the millennials and trying to encourage a dialogue with the employees, with the municipalities, and trying to be more creative with development in the area and bringing more workforce resources to the table as well too.
During the discussion, there were 2 panel groups. The first talked about stimulating economic growth in Middlesex 3 through creative initiatives in suburban development.
You know, we need to deal with transportation issues, and transportation issues are not only traffic on the highway, but getting people what's called last mile, getting people from public transportation spots to places like this on Concord Road in Billerica. So the good news is that we're all working together and there are more and more resources. The bad news is that there's not an easy solution. If there was, somebody would have already come up with it.
The second discussed how businesses are making the change to bring their companies and employees to Middlesex County.
There's been a lot of development and growth in the greater Boston region. It's becoming very congested. It's getting difficult to move in and out of the city. And so I think what we're looking at now is how we can use places like Middlesex 3, towns like Billerica, Burlington, Tingsboro, Lowe, to provide the level of amenities that young people, professionals expect, and how we can also attract the companies up here.
I got a chance to speak with panelists from each of the forum discussions.
I mean, really, we're trying to get the businesses to provide amenities within their building so that employees don't have to go off-site to even work out or run an errand. It's actually the services are being brought right to the business. And it's helping businesses retain employees and helping them maximize their free time on the weekends.
The ability for families, for employees to have a work-life balance, to be able to have maybe a more spacious place to live, affordable housing, access to bike trails. You have more access to whether it's the lakes region, the mountains, where as you might not have that accessibility if you were in downtown Boston. So those are a lot of the pros to being up in this area.
Finally, the members of the Middlesex 3 Coalition got this opportunity to see what will happen to Middlesex County in the future.
Well, really, there's a lot of activity going on from the Burlington, Bedford, Lexington area up to Lowell, Westford, Tingsboro. There's really a lot happening, and a lot of things in different communities where we see a different development, whether it's the housing going on in Lowell or the high-tech companies coming to Bedford and Burlington, and really making certain that the workforce is prepared over the next 5 to 10 years, and that we've got the resources in place, but we need to make certain that we're engaging with each other in order to make certain we're aware of the resources and continue to promote this area.
So I hope they get some insight to help them understand how to best position their properties or their communities for continued growth.
So we have a great group of panelists. So we have a mix of employers and developers and investors in retail and home and buildings, and they're going to share some of the things they need in order to help the cities and towns in our Middlesex 3 region grow.
From the Farley White Interest Building, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Anyone interested in taking a deep dive into Burlington's geographical and housing information now have a powerful new tool. The Burlington Planning Department has posted its new Burlington Geographic Information System, GIS, on the town website. With Burlington's interactive mapping tool, users can view zoning layers, search for and view property record cards, print unofficial abutters lists, and more. Integration with Google Base Maps provide updated aerial as well as street view imagery for most properties. The Planning Department has been working on developing the Burlington GIS page, which is all about Burlington's spatial data. The town's geographical information system is a computer-based system which captures, stores, retrieves, analyzes, and displays any data which is spatially defined. The system applies geographical integration and database technology to efficiently manage town data by forming a relationship between data and place. Burlington Planning is constantly working on creating, maintaining, and delivering the most accurate and reliable GIS data sets we can to our users, the release states. This site is a portal to both our interactive mapping application and static map sets. Please take some time to explore our site and learn more about Burlington. A long-time and much-beloved Burlington educator passed away this week. Mary Lowe, a retired teacher from Burlington's public schools, passed away at her home on Saturday morning, July 28th. The beloved wife of the late Michael J. Lowe, she was 93 years old. Mary was born, raised, and educated in Fitchburg. After high school, she went on to receive her bachelor's degree in education from Boston University. Mary and Michael married in 1950 and moved to Burlington in 1956. She taught second grade at Memorial School in Burlington for over 30 years. Mary loved her role as a teacher. To her, being a teacher was more of a passion than a job. Mary's goal as a teacher was to improve the lives of her students and make a positive impact on the community she lived in. She was constantly remembered throughout the years by her students, even 30 years later. Mary was out to dinner with her family, and one of her former students saw Mary and paid for the entire family's meal. Mary was a loving mother and grandmother. She had a very close relationship with her daughter, Linda, and her son-in-law, Joseph, and her grandchild, Michael. Mary always gave of herself to others, and it was she had a great devotion that her family could give back to her as they cared for her as her health began to decline. Mary will be remembered as a loving wife, mother, and proud grandmother. Another fall sport is ready to get back on the court. This week, BNews had a chance to speak with girls varsity volleyball coach Courtney Wall about the upcoming volleyball season and what they have been doing to prepare for the fall of 2018. In the off-season, Coach Wall attends the Massachusetts Girls Volleyball Coach Association to learn more about how she can help the team with better technique and skills. She said she attended the clinic to learn from the head clinician, Tom Hilbert, from Colorado State, and that she learns a lot of new drills and focal points that will fit into the team's practices. Wall and her coaching staff also work together during the off-season to ensure the teammates are fully prepared. This includes planning sessions in the off-season to ensure everyone is up to speed. The volleyball season had a heartbreaking loss last year against Danvers in the third round of the tournament. The team did finish the regular season with a 12-7 record to end the season. We were definitely proud of this finish and everything the girls accomplished throughout the season, Wall said. Coach Wall motivates her players to become strong individuals on and off the team. She said she wants the girls to not only grow as a volleyball players and team, but also to grow as positive individuals within the team, the school, and the community. The upcoming schedule is no easy task. Coach Wall wants to have the girls play their hardest during the game, no matter what team they may be up against. She said that within the Middlesex League, you can never underestimate any team. They will enter every game with the same competitive mentality and focus. One of the main concerns for the team is finding its players who will fit the spots who played during the 2017 season and have since graduated. She said fostering new talent will be key to the team's success. The Burlington Police and Fire Departments will be having its annual Community Safety Night next week. Community Safety Night is a fun and educational way for local law enforcement to show children and their families a way to explore safety vehicles, meet officers, and first responders. Residents will get a chance to explore different equipment used in local enforcement in a fun and safe atmosphere. Fire Department Lieutenant Mark Saya said that this is a great opportunity for the community to come down and see public safety, police, fire, and EMS in a different light. A lot of the times, he said, when residents interact with emergency vehicle, it's in a stressful environment. In this event, people can have some fun and meet them in a different light. Community Safety Night will be held on Wednesday, August 8th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at Wegmans on 3rd Avenue. Everyone is welcome to the event, and the event is free. Wegmans will also provide free hot dogs for attendees. Live music will be performed during the event. Burlington's premier charity organization is helping a Burlington resident collect much-needed supplies for students as they prepare to enter the 2018-19 school year. Burlington's People Helping People said in a release that resident Kim Festi is collecting backpacks for the 100 school-aged children that are served by the Burlington Food Pantry. The students are roughly split 50-50 between boys and girls. There are also 14 preschoolers, 8 boys and 6 girls. Half the students are in elementary school, with the others split between middle school and high school. Festi is also collecting school supplies such as pencils, pencil sharpeners, and pens. If you are interested in donating to this cause, contact Kim Festi at 781-552-6011. Donations are due by August 12th, and she is happy to pick up donations. We've had some hot and humid days this past week. To see what's in store for the week ahead, we go to BNEWS weatherman Peter Brown in our Weather Center for the latest forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Maddie Shipka to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days. And I know we can't believe it, but here we are in the month of August already. And as we start out our period, as you can see here on Thursday, our temperatures are definitely going to reflect that we are in the heart of summer. We're looking at temperatures starting out our period in the low 90s. And if you look at these nighttime lows, you can probably guess that it's going to be pretty humid around here in the Burlington area. We're looking at temperatures only dropping down into maybe the mid and upper 70s to start out our period. So very soupy weather. If you're not a fan of the humidity, unfortunately, it looks like this trend is going to continue for the next 7 to 10 days. And we're not going to be anywhere near our record highs of 101, that's for certain, but we're certainly not going to be anywhere near our record lows, and that's something that you're definitely going to notice going out the next 7 days. As we round out, of course, our end of our period, look at this, getting into the second week of August. Our average temperatures, you're going to start noticing, are going to start to fall a little bit as we go week by week, getting towards closer to fall, but still plenty of summer weather to go. And of course, interestingly enough to note, on Sunday, that will be the last day that we will actually see a sunset at 8 p.m. After that, the sunsets, it won't actually be coming back up and going down till 8 o'clock at night until we get into the spring of next year. So enjoy that sun while you can, because it is going away slowly and steadily, but something to keep in mind as we head towards fall. Now, as we go ahead, let's take a look at what's going to be going on with our weather for the next 7 days. And this has been a weather map that we've really been seeing for the past 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to see these pretty strong high pressure centers centered to the southeast of New England. And that's going to be continuously bringing up this flow of warm, humid air up into the Burlington area. And of course, starting out our period going into Friday and Saturday, we're going to, of course, see this pretty expansive and slow-moving warm front move north of our area and actually all the way up into southern Canada. So that's going to bring the chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms almost every day as we go on to the next 7 days. And of course, that's also going to bring temperatures are going to be fairly steady in the high 80s to low 90s and very warm and muggy evenings. Now, as we go ahead, let's take a look at some of those temperatures that we're expecting for the next 7 days. As you can see reflected here in the 10-day forecast, pardon me, the 7-day forecast, we're jumping the gun. But look at this. Our average highs and temperatures not going to vary much when we even getting towards the end of the period. Starting again on Thursday and Friday with those really warm to hot conditions, very humid, thunderstorm chances each afternoon really until we get to Sunday. And if you're joining us at Celebrate Burlington on Saturday, might want to keep an eye to the sky and maybe keep those umbrellas handy because we may be dodging some kind of heavy showers and thunderstorms here and there. And again, even on Saturday, temperatures very warm and sticky out there. Now, looking at the 7 days here, it looks like the pick of the days is going to be Sunday. Of course, it's going to be hot, a little bit less humid, and we're going to take those chances of showers and thunderstorms kind of out of the picture on Sunday. But heading back to work Monday, Tuesday, and then into Wednesday, look at this. Our temperatures are going to stay above average, around 90 degrees, and that chance of showers and thunderstorms with very humid conditions. So everyone, looks like summer is definitely here to stay. Get out there and enjoy the weather.
I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your community calendar. There's magic behind every magic trick. On Thursday, August 9th at 1 p.m., the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a special presentation called Science Magic at Simon's Park. The event is a fun and educational show about the science behind magic tricks and how they really work. Everyone is welcome, and the event is free. For more information, visit burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. Enjoy a musical performance at 3rd Ave. On Friday, August 10th, from 5 to 8 p.m., 3rd Ave in Burlington will be having a free concert on the green. Performing that night will be Jay and Joe, the acoustic duo. The duo is an acoustic guitar and vocal group that performs upbeat, popular songs from the 70s to the present that everyone will recognize and enjoy. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, visit 3rdavburlington.com or call 781-272-40. Come support a local group. On Thursday, August 14th, from 5 to 9 p.m., the Flatbread Company on 213 Burlington Road in Bedford will be having a fundraiser to support the Friends of the Burlington Public Library. There will also be prizes and raffles. Tickets will be sold at the library and at the Flatbread Company on the evening of the event. Everyone is welcome. For more information, call the library at 781-270-1690. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this has been your Community Calendar.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week we have a small Peter Cottontail, or perhaps a wandering from Watership Down, that was seen in a Burlington yard. It was sent in by Shushila Patel, who called it the Inquisitive Bunny. It certainly seems curious as it looks right into her camera for its glamour shot. Thanks for the photos, Shushila. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of your own family members and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share. Mail your photos to BCAT at bcattv.org with the subject line, Photo of the Week. Well, that's a wrap for this week, but don't forget, Celebrate Burlington. The festivities kick off at 11 o'clock on the Common on Saturday. Well, thank you to Maddie Shipka, Rich Hosford, Robert Parrish, Peter Brown. Sitting in for Phil Gallagher, this is Alan Foles for BNEWS Weekly.